ॐ स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः. My salutations to Sri Ramakrishna, who descended on this earth to establish the Dharma, who is the embodiment of all the world religions, and who is the forerunner among the incarnations. Om, peace, peace, peace. Dear devotees, we had a meeting, so just 5 minutes late. Sorry for that. Hmm. If you see, if you remember my previous talk, we were trying to discuss how Mathurnath Vishwas was very well calculated, very logical, worldly, business minded, aristocratic, and all. But at the same time, he was soft, he was open minded, and he was sincere, and he was straightforward. So it is a mixture of good qualities he had in his. And how, by the mere touch of Sri Ramakrishna, how his life got changed from worldly personality to the spiritual personality, we discussed few incidents. Further, I'll be discussing on the same thing today also, like third book, sixth chapter. Now, the grace of Sri Ramakrishna has turned or transformed the Mathurnath Vishwas, a worldly person, to the spiritual personality. So, the Sadhu Sangha, that is the benefit of a holy company, or the benefit of a prophet, or a spiritually advanced people, when you stay with them, what can happen is we can see very beautifully in the life of Mathurnath Vishwas. Because he was not a monk, he was not a like Swami Vivekananda would be a monk, or he was not like a Gopal Ma or Gopal Irma, who was very spiritual in nature. He was a devotee, no doubt, but still he changed his life. Now, strictly speaking, the grace of the prophets or incarnations or the great personalities can be discussed at two levels. One is at the mundane level or the worldly benefits. The second is at the level of spirituality. Mundane level, when I say, like we can get rid of problems, we can get rid of challenges, issues, and all. Simple example I can give you is even our 10th president, Swami Veereshwarananji, was the president of the Ramakrishna Merchant Mission. One brahmachari, novice, he was the initiated disciple of Swami Veereshwarananji. Unfortunately, he had a very severe low back ache. Because of that, he was unable to get up. And in the Belur Math, there's a tradition. Every day we go and offer our pranams, respects to the President Maharaj. Because of this severe backache, he was unable to go 3 days, 4 days, 5 days over, probably. And the brahmachari, the novice, is feeling bad that he is unable to go and unable to pay his respects to his guru. Fourth or fifth day, he thought, no, I should do somehow I should make up and I should try to go. With all difficulties, with a pain, he got up and he walked. And when he went and when he was standing, just he felt, oh Gurudev, why don't you bless me so that let this pain, the back pain, severe back pain, acute back pain, may be cleared from me so that I can be a normal man, I can sit and meditate, I can do service activities, I can attend classes, and I can come and pay my respects to you. Just he thought, in that pain only somehow he managed to pay his respects to his guru, and with difficulty, great difficulty, he went back to his room. Then it was evening. Okay, then without pain, somehow he managed to had his dinner and he is having his bed rest and he slept. Morning, when he got up, when his sleep broke, when he got up, for his astonishment, there was no back pain at all. Completely back pain is dissolved or is been completely gone. He was really astonished how it happened. And interestingly, there was an announcement because of some issues, President Maharaj is not available for pranams. For 3 or 4 days, he was not available for pranams. This brahmachari, the fourth day when President Maharaj pranams were available, He went and he was standing there to pay his respects. Then, when his turn came, the President Maharaj, that is Swami Vireshwaranji, made, "Oh, my dear, how are you feeling? Is your back pain disappeared?" He was amazed, he was astonished because he didn't tell him. How did he come to know? So now you are free from your back pain, your prayers are answered. Again, this he has not told with anyone, he has not shared this with anyone. He prayed in his mind only, he alone knows. Now Prajan Maharaj is telling that, "Oh, are your prayers are answered?" Now that brahmachari novice understood, because that day I prayed in front of my Gurudev mentally that my pain should be taken, can be taken. So that's how I have been cured. But Swami Vireshwaranji had to suffer 3 days with that back pain. So this is what we can see in the worldly benefits. Many things can happen. Like Swami Ketri Maharaja pleaded Swami Vivekananda, and Ketri Maharaja had an issue, had a son, Prince. So, like this, we can keep on giving a list of worldly benefits from saints and from prophets and incarnations one can get. And same thing we can see in the Mathur's case also. Like he had a few problems in a business. So when he's in a serious problem where he cannot manage, he used to go and plead Sri Ramakrishna. And Sri Ramakrishna used to scold him, "Rascal, you do all nonsense and you come and you ask me to get rid of this." And once there was a court case which was a deadly, and he pleaded Sri Ramakrishna to help him. And once there was a fighting with the neighbor landlord, and there was a killing issue, and there was a lot of difficulties, he prayed to Sri Ramakrishna that he should help. Sri Ramakrishna said, "Get out, I can't do all these things." Then he pleaded and said, "This is the last time. If mother will let it happen so, then you should not come anymore." Then Mathurnath Vishwas said, "Yes," but he was spared from that problem. So, like this, we can see Mathurnath Vishwas got a lot of worldly benefits from Sri Ramakrishna's grace, from Sri Ramakrishna's touch. But apart from this, his life got slowly got changed. That is a very interesting point or interesting part to study Mathurnath Vishwas' life, especially when he got the direct vision of the God. As we all know that story probably, where Mathurnath Vishwas was sitting in the Kuti Ghat. That's a bungalow which is meant for the owners of the Dakshineshwar temple complex. He was sitting in the veranda and he was smoking. He was having his hookah. Sri Ramakrishna is unaware of all these things. He's in his divine ecstasy in the northern circular veranda. He was was walking from one side to another. And at some point of time, when Mathurnath Vishwas saw, he had a vision that Sri Ramakrishna, from east to west is going, then he had a vision of Mother Kali. And when Sri Ramakrishna is turning back and walking, he had a vision of Shiva. So Mathurnath Vishwas had a direct vision of Shiva and his chosen deity Kali. So from then onwards, we can see a big change in the mind of the Mathurnath Vishwas. Means he experienced the presence of the God. So when you experience the presence of God, what happens? God becomes total reality or absolute reality, and the world becomes secondary. Now we study Upanishads, we study Bhagavad Gita, we study scriptures, we hear lectures and sermons. We all know that God alone is true, self alone is true, Brahma Satya Jagan Mithya, Brahman alone is real, everything is an appearance or delusion. We all know that. But our actions are, we are not able to put into actions. Our actions contradict our understanding. But in his case, when he had the direct vision of Mother, Kali, and Shiva, by the grace of Sri Ramakrishna, he got confirmed. His intellectual understanding was being accepted as a part of practice that yes, God exists and God can be seen. From then onwards, we can see Mathur's life got slowly changed, so much so that he started desiring and he started demanding for Sri Ramakrishna to have the Bhavamukha experience or the Bhavasamadhi experience, that is divine ecstasy. Now you see a business person, very ambitious, a devotee, fine, but a business person, very ambitious a person, now is desiring for the divine ecstasy. How change has happened in Mathurnath Vishwas by Sri Ramakrishna's gaze. So by Sri Ramakrishna's grace, his faith got intensified. So the God became reality. Now, how did it become? And if you see, because by serving the the realized soul. Now, in the Shastras, they tell that when you serve the saint, when you serve the Jivan Mukta, what happens? A Jivan Mukta or the spiritually exalted souls, generally, they don't do any mistakes. Sri Ramakrishna gives a beautiful example for this. For example, an expert dancer, he or she never puts a wrong step. So that means what? A person, like a realized person, a Jivan Mukta will not do any wrong thinking. Now, how much ever I want to control, how much ever I want to be righteous, ethical, moral, and all, some point of time, because of my ego got hurt or because of my emotions got disturbed, interpersonal relationship disturbed, I may think bad about someone. I may think ill of someone. I may do wrong thinking. But in the case of realized persons, they never think, whatever it may be. They may be harassed, they may be even killed, but they don't think wrong about anyone. They don't think about illegal things, unethical, immoral, or any wrong steps will not be put by such people. But so at the only at thought level, yes, we can say that they don't take any wrong steps, wrong actions, wrong thoughts. I mean, wrong thoughts or wrong feelings. But we cannot say that by doing any action or by their actions, there will not be any evil result or any bad result. Because Swami Vivekananda says very clearly in Karma Yoga that every action, how much our good action we say, every action has got two sides, good sides and bad sides. How to understand this? So, for an example, now, I thought, or I being the water minister, water resource minister, I thought just to help the people, we will build a dam for a particular river. And there was a discussion, pro and cons, and environmentalists they discussed, and there were quite a discussions. Finally, it was agreed that we are going to build a dam. Fine. A lot of people are getting benefited. A lot of agriculture activities can be increased. Industrial resources will be increased by all that. There are a lot of positive sides, never mind. But by building a dam, by storing the water, what happens? So much forest or the land is occupied, forest has been occupied and destroyed. And even if there are some villages nearby, even they can get submerged. Of course, the government will give a new land, they will shift their residence and all, but basically their emotions are disturbed, their feelings are disturbed, and they think that this dam was not required. But from the greater cause, whatever the small mistakes happen, small shortcomings, we forget, we have to excuse. So every action has got positive and negative side, no doubt. Now, a Jivan Mukta performs an action. What about the positive result or negative result? Now, since he's a Jivan Mukta, he's a very clearly he knows that naham karta naham bhokta, neither I am the doer nor I am the enjoyer. So, no fruits of action can taint him, can bind him. But the nature, the universal law is if you do any action, it has to produce its results. Either physical action, mental action, intellectual action, it has to produce its results. Now, because he's a Jivan Mukta, that the fruits of action cannot taint him, then what happens to its fruits of actions? Now, here the interesting point is scriptures tell that when a Jivan Mukta does a good action, the good results will go to the people who serves them. And the bad results of if any of that action, if it is there, that will go to the people who troubles them, who criticizes them, who hates them. Now, Sri Ramakrishna is a Jivan Mukta, is an Avatara Purusha, is a Jivan Mukta, and he is doing a lot of actions, no doubt. Teaching people, helping people, worshipping and all. Now, a lot of good results has been produced. Now, because Mathurnath Vishwasu is serving him, so a lot of good results, punya, has been accumulated in the account of Mathurnath Vishwas. As a result, his mundane life problems has been resolved. Not only that, spiritual transformation has also happened. Now, contrary, now Ruday also served him. He had got good results because he hated him, he scolded him, he put Sri Ramakrishna, he troubled Sri Ramakrishna. As a result, he has to leave the Dakshineshwar temple complex. Now, you see, because of the bad actions, because of hating or because of troubling Sri Ramakrishna, because of the negative results he had to experience. So, when you serve the great people, all his tapas, all his fruits of actions, all his fruit of good actions, you will be the recipient. That's what we can see. in the life of Mathurnath Vishwas. And interestingly, if you can see on the funny incident, how these great people can think even at the thought level. Well, Swami Bhuteshanji, he was, I think, 12th president. He was there once, he was sitting, and one lady devotee, she was very, a pious lady, and she was a great devotee. She came, and she was initiated devotee of Swami Bhuteshanji. She said, Maharaj, you should bless me. He said, okay, do well, keep well, balotakun, he told. And she also said, Maharaj, you should bless my husband also, so that he can have a good practice, or he can professionally he can grow well. So what was her husband's profession? Doctor. Now she is asking that you bless me so that his doctor profession can be better, so that he can earn good amount. Swami Bhuteshanji said, no, I will not bless. It became very difficult, and she became a bit annoyed, and she was unhappy and all. And she said, Maharaj, why you don't want my husband to go get improved or to go further or whatever? He said, no, I don't mean that, but I can't bless. Why? Because if I bless your husband, may he grow professionally. That means what? More and more people should fall sick, which I cannot pray that, which I cannot think. So as a result, I cannot bless your husband that his profession can become better. Now you see how they are sensitive even at the thought level or is their action level and all. That's what we can understand how they always think of betterment of the society or betterment of the people and whatnot. Now, in Mathur's, initially, if you see, he was a devoted mindset, no doubt, but he was very calculative. He was very logical, and he didn't accept anything and everything simply. He used to test and he used to see, he used to check himself. He is the person. For example, when Sri Ramakrishna was accused that he has become mad, though people started accusing him that he has become a madcap in the name of God, but he kept as an open mind as a benefit of doubt, and he wanted to examine and make sure that what has happened. Because somewhere he was feeling is a good person, pious person, righteous person, that is Sri Ramakrishna, but at the same time he's behaving sometimes weird actions. Then he thought probably because of over meditation, over celibacy and chastity is happening. Then if that is taken care, that basic instincts are taken care, he may become all right. And Mathurnath Vishwas took Sri Ramakrishna to one of the prostitute house there, etc. And there we all know that story. I don't want to go there. And Sri Ramakrishna won there. So like this, so many tests were put by calculative, logical mindset Mathurnath Vishwas towards Sri Ramakrishna, and Sri Ramakrishna passed every exam. Because of that, the devotion, the faith of Mathurnath Vishwas got amplified, got increased in Sri Ramakrishna. And as a result, he started serving Sri Ramakrishna in better way. So whatever Sri Ramakrishna wants, whatever Sri Ramakrishna wishes, even if before Sri Ramakrishna thinking something, Mathurnath Vishwas was ready, ever ready to serve him. And interestingly, if you see, Sri Ramakrishna is also a very interesting personality. Sri Ramakrishna was the highly pragmatic personality, actually, if you see. Pragmatism is one of the, in the 18th century, in the whole Western philosophy, the pragmatism philosophy was the very important philosophy. What is the main tenet of pragmatic philosophy? It should be useful. So the more and more useful for people, and it is better, and that is what the philosophy. If it is only abstract concept, and if it is not of use much, then they used to discard that philosophy. Now, Sri Ramakrishna, he was very pragmatic man. He's a spiritual personality, no doubt, but he was the highest pragmatic man according to me. How? Now, Sri Ramakrishna took a stand in his young age or adolescent age that I will, based on the Upanishads or whatever Vedic you can say, I will strive and I will try to get the optimum bliss, the highest unalloyed bliss. That is what Brahmananda or Bhagavadananda. So as a result, he wanted to dedicate his life in the pursuit of pursuit of God realization or in the self-realization. By that, what happens? Atyantika dukkha nivrutti paramananda prapti. I will attain the highest everlasting bliss, and my sorrows or my grief will be completely extinct. See, Sri Ramakrishna was very pragmatic. For that, he had dedicated his life for the spiritual life or for the God's sake, I mean, for the God centered life. Now, this is what probably it was, I mean, Mathur was attracted by Sri Ramakrishna. But at the same time, interestingly, if you see, Sri Ramakrishna, he never criticized anyone, either the world or the people. Even Sri Ramakrishna was criticized. Sri Ramakrishna was considered as madcap. Sri Ramakrishna was heavily criticized by the other priests and the workers of the Dakshineshwar temple and all. Most of the times he was unaware. Even though he comes to know that, he accepted, he never reacted, and he never criticized world. What, this world is so stupid. They don't understand who am I. They don't understand what is real spirituality. He never criticized, he accepted everything, and he was always positive and pragmatic. That is very interesting in this Creed people's life. Probably there's one more interesting point, I think, why Mathunath Vishwas got attracted towards Sri Ramakrishna. Now, how he changed in his mindset, I can give a simple example, which most of you know the story. Mathurnath Vishwas got a silk Kashmiri or Kashmir Benares shawl, which cost around 1,000 rupees. Now I'm telling the story of probably 1850 story, 1850 story. In those days, 1,000 rupees probably few lakh rupees. Such a costly shawl was unaskedly presented by Mathurnath Vishwas to Sri Ramakrishna out of respect, out of reverence. Sri Ramakrishna, as a childlike innocence, he welcomed it. Just like if you give a chocolate or a toy or something present for a children, they all feel happy. They will thank, and their joy knows no limits. So Sri Ramakrishna also, we can see Balavat, which is one of the characteristic of the Avaduta. Like he will have a childlike innocence. He accepted, he wore, and he was so happy. He was so happy, and he went out and he started showing with everyone, whoever is there in the Dakshineshwar temple complex. It is 1,000 rupee shawl itself, and it is given by Mathurnath, none other than Mathurnath, who is the temple owner. So he showed with quite a few people, and he was, just walking here and there in the Dakshineshwar temple complex. He's expressing his joy. Fine. There is a one Bhalavat, that is like a childlike innocence. There's a one bhava here you can see, interestingly. After some time, his mind started becoming analytical, and he started, what? This shawl, okay, it is very costly, it looks so beautiful, so nice, but basically it is made from five elements, because the whole world is made up of, the earth or the universe is made up of five elements. We all know that: space, water, air, fire, and the earth. So this whole world is made up of five elements, and even this is also made up of five elements. Why am I getting attached to this so much? Immediately he got dejected, and he threw the shawl, he spitted on it. Probably he tried to crush, and probably he wanted to light a fire on that. Suddenly, some XYZ, some third person came to know, he saw, he took it and he ran away. And Sri Ramakrishna went back. And this was told to Mathurnath Vishwas. For a common person, for any one of us, that such a costly gift we have given, and Sri Ramakrishna dashed into the ground, and he spitted, and someone has taken away, we feel annoyed. We feel annoyed, we feel angry, and we would have scolded Sri Ramakrishna. We got dejected, and we would have decided, next time onwards, I will not give any more presents to this such a madcap. All these things we would have thought. It is a quite natural, but Mathurnath Vishwas, he just laughed at it and he kept quiet. If so, that's fine. Why? Because he knows what is Sri Ramakrishna's character. That means once his logical minded, worldly calculation is getting disintegrated or is getting reduced, and he was able to accept and he was able to appreciate the mysticism, the spiritual aspect, the spiritual ecstasy of Sri Ramakrishna. What a great transformation has might have come in Mathurnath Vishwas. Now, here one more point. Probably you might have read this story, but here, if you go deeply, you'll be able to understand. Now I told Sri Ramakrishna is like Balavat. That is what child innocence. Probably in my earlier lecture also I told, in my earlier talk, there is a great difference between childlike innocence and childish. Sri Ramakrishna was childlike. Holy Mother was childlike, but they were never childish. So we should never confuse. So they were never childish, they were childlike. Okay. Now, what is the difference between childlike and a children mindset? There's a very interesting point which we have to understand. When you deeply study and think yourself, you will understand. Now, when a small, a boy or girl of 7 or 6 or 7 years, generally we know that if not all, mostly they will have that innocence. We all get carried over. We'll all feel attracted toward that. See that girl or boy, how innocent, how beautiful to see, how so nice to witness. Even we all get carried over. But the same child, either boy or girl, when she, grown into adolescent or young, the same innocence we won't see. That means that the innocence was not the integral part of the child, boy or girl. It was because her natural traits, natural character was not dormant, was not grown up, was not developed. That's why he or she was looking like a child, like, but she was not really child innocence. So whatever is inside and whatever is appearing, there's a quite different. There is no childlike innocence in him or her actually, but only there is no development of him or her real character. Now, in Sri Ramakrishna's case, he's probably 40 or 35, he's a young or a middle-aged, but still that innocence is there. Means whatever is inside, it has been portrayed outside also. Whatever was inside, it was outside, and whatever was outside, it was inside. That is the Balavata means we have to understand like this. So childlike innocence and Balavata means whatever the innocence is there inside, same thing exhibited in their actions. So this is a difference between child and childish, or Balavata and child. This is a difference. Just when I was telling, this reminds me a funny incident happened in Belur Math again. Once a lady, a devotee, she was probably she was well informed, or she was quite well acquainted with the Swamis. Probably that she has taken the freedom or liberty, and she went and she started bit harshly speaking with Bhuteshanji. Bhuteshanji was not president then, I think. He was probably assistant secretary, assistant general secretary, or whatever. He said, Swami, what you monks and all do in Belur Math? Why? Because whenever I try to call, no one lifts the phone here. Are you sleeping, or what are you monks you are doing? Why don't you take the call? There's a mission office, I used to say. Mission office, the the headquarters of the Ramakrishna Matan mission. See, now a devotee, she's a devotee, she was supposed to be humble. Now she's demanding, challenging, and she's almost like a, in a, what do you say, not in a good terms, in a good way she's asking. Probably any one of us would have been become a bit annoyed and angry. What do you mean by that? Hold your tongue, hold your horses. How can you speak like this? Probably would have said. Or we would have controlled ourselves, but inside we would have reacted or whatever. Now, Bhuteshanji don't take it anything any personally. It was so lightly. Now he's assistant general secretary, is like a sadh monk, well respected monk in the order itself, and all the monks, brahmacharis, they are so respectful towards him. Now a lady devotee is coming and demanding this. The interesting part is, oh my dear lady, I'm very sorry to this. I've got a problem, because he had some hearing issue. He said, you might have called, but I would not have heard the phone call. As a result, I didn't take. Okay, there's one more person next to you. What about him? The one more mark. Oh, that is Swami Gambiranji. He's a blind. He cannot see properly. What to do? Now I am deaf and he's a blind. Both of us, we are helpless. Okay, there's one more young monk as an assistant. What about her? She didn't tell that, but she only looked at him and said, what about him then? Because he's a young monk, you cannot say that he's a deaf or he's a blind. Bhuteshanji understood her body language. He said, oh my dear, he comes from South India and he doesn't know Bengali. And you people only speak Bengali. I cannot hear, the other monk cannot see, and other fellow, if he lifts the phone, he cannot speak, he cannot give the answer in Bengali. As a result, we didn't receive the phone. That poor girl, the poor lady devotee, she made a pranam and she walked out. It is a very funny incident. But the beauty is the Balavata. He never got, he never took any this petty things we say, petty things seriously, and they didn't break their heads. They didn't think of much of all these things, and simply by making small fun, simply things were carried over. So this is what we mean, childlike innocence, or the Balavat. This is what we can see in the life of great people. And you see, and also how much Mathurnath Vishwa served. Once Sri Ramakrishna had a burning hunger. How much ever he takes, still he's hungry, he's hungry, he's hungry, and all. Then Bhairavi Brahmini, she told, you store so much sweets in one room and you leave Sri Ramakrishna there for 2 3 days, things will become all right. Mathurnath Vishwas thought, what is this nonsense? He may get problem, he may get dysentery, stomachache. She says, no, it is a part of Mahabhava. Mahabhava, I will take some other time. So she says that you do it. Then he accepted and he created a room. In a room, so many sweets were kept, and Sri Ramakrishna was let in and for 2 3 days. So Sri Ramakrishna, whenever he's feeling hungry, whenever he's feeling any interest to sweet, any sweet or anything, simply he was keep on eating. In 2 3 days, that hunger died out. And once Sri Ramakrishna wanted to do Mathura sadhana. That is, I am the wife of the god, like Mirabai, and all the Christian nuns they take, and Akka Mahadev in southern India, and so many people have done. So Sri Ramakrishna wanted to do that. Now Sri Ramakrishna wanted to wear sari, wanted to wear like bangles or the ornaments like any lady. And when Mathurnath came to know that, he provided the saris or costlier sari, and even all the jewels and the golden jewels and all. Sri Ramakrishna wore it and he practiced the sadhana and he returned back. So like this, so much service Mathurnath Vishwas was doing. Why? Because Mathurnath Vishwas was able to understand, accept, and appreciate the greatness of Sri Ramakrishna. He's a great blessed person. No, contrary, there were Brahmin Pandits who was well versed in scriptures. They know Vedas, they know Upanishads, they know Puranas, but unfortunately, they were unable to understand Sri Ramakrishna. Most of them, they were unable to appreciate Sri Ramakrishna. Contrary, Mathurnath Vishwas comes from lower background, probably is not well versed in scriptures. He was from English education. He was very logical. He was very worldly minded, business minded person. But he was able to accept and admit and appreciate and serve Sri Ramakrishna. How blessed he is! How blessed he is! And you can see even in Paniyati Mahotsav, when Sri Ramakrishna wished to go to Paniyati Mahotsav, because of the crowd and all, Sri Ramakrishna can get into problem, thinking that Mathurnath Vishwas arranged his own people as a bodyguards to Sri Ramakrishna. That's okay. Out of respect, he has sent. That is okay. Not only that, but still he was not. He didn't feel sufficient. There can be a problem to his master, to his, he used to say Baba. Baba means father. To his father Sri Ramakrishna, he himself went in a disguised form to protect Sri Ramakrishna. So, how much is to love Sri Ramakrishna? This is what important. So many times we think, oh, if I would have lived with Sri Ramakrishna's time, I would have served him, I would have felt blessed. Now, there are quite a number of people, either in Dakshineshwar, or in Calcutta, or in Kamarpukur, or in Jairambata, they were there. Everyone didn't understand the greatness of Sri Ramakrishna, our Holy Mother. Same thing with Buddha, same thing with Jesus, same thing with Rama, same thing with Krishna. So it is not that everyone is quite capable to understand the greatness and the uniqueness of the Avatara Purushas, incarnations or prophets, while they living. And Mathurnath Vishwas was one unique among them. And slowly, Mathurnath Vishwas was able to understand the Paravairagya, supreme renunciation of Sri Ramakrishna. And interestingly, once Mathurnath Vishwas went and he told to Sri Ramakrishna, like Dakshineshwar temple complex and the associated property, there was a quite huge lands to support the temple expenses, which was created by his mother-in-law, that is Rani Rasmani. He wanted to write entire thing for Sri Ramakrishna. Everyone would have been appreciated and thanked. But Sri Ramakrishna not only rejected, he went to beat him. You want to spoil me like this? But any other would have been took aback and would have felt bad, would have taken aback and would have probably kicked out Sri Ramakrishna, because Sri Ramakrishna was an employer and he was employee and he was an employer. But Mathurnath Vishwas accepted it. I want to help you and you were scolding me. What is this? He didn't tell that. He accepted and he laughed by seeing or by witnessing the Sri Ramakrishna's para vairagya. So all these things brought a big change in the Mathurnath Vishwas mind. Actually, how happens? Probably one more, I think, again, I'm tempted to tell one more incident from Bhuteshanji's life, actually. Bhuteshanji, in those days, now itself, even the northern eastern part, not very good transportation system even there, even it is not there everywhere. So I'm telling probably maybe 100 years, more or less 100 years or 80 years story earlier. Bhuteshanji was the head of the Chirapunji Center. So morning to evening, he had to work and he had to go in cycle in the hilly areas, in the valley areas, and he used to go cycling from center to center for a few kilometers cycling and all. And Saturday, Sunday, again he used to come cycling, or I don't know, by traveling or by cycling to Chirapunji. From Chirapunji to Shillong, he used to come and he used to take classes on Saturdays and Sundays. Now, 5 days he's working day in and day out in Chirapunji ashram and traveling from different places because there were 30 schools which are far. So he had to travel for every place in the cycle. And Saturday, Sunday again he's traveling to Shillong just to give talks. So much physical labor, strain, and all. And Shillong, when Brahmachari has joined, novice. So generally, when we join, so the senior monks expect that he will work and he will cook. In those days, there were no employees. So most of the all the mundane work, cleaning, cooking, utensils washing, watering the plants, all the novice monks and brahmacharis used to do. So this brahmachari novice was expected to clean the ashram and also to cook. That's all work for him. Now, Bhuteshanji is doing all the 5 days work and again is traveling from Chirapunji to Shillong, which is a quite good distance. And when he went and he asked, "Oh, what about your today prasad?" The brahmachari told, "Oh, very, I mean, negligibly, very." He told, "Oh, I've got a backache. I have not cooked anything. I have not done anything." Now imagine being a senior monk and is a head of the center, definitely would have become angry, annoyed, probably anyone. Instead of becoming angry and annoyed, and he was not neutral or he didn't show any passive face. Instead of that, he said, "Oh my dear, I'm sorry to hear. Where is your problem? Where is the back pain? Let me know." And he brought the oil and he wanted to massage the brahmachari novice. He did it, and afterwards he cooked himself and he fed that brahmachari. So later, the monk, I mean, the same novice who became monk, and afterwards later, when Bhuteshanji was no more, he mentions all these things and he feels repentance. He repented that, "Oh, I had such a wonderful occasion to serve that Brahmagnani, to the dearest soul, but I couldn't make use of that. I couldn't utilize that situation. I was so ignorant. I was so dull-minded. Such a, I mean, what to say? I couldn't make use of it. I couldn't utilize the opportunity." So many times we may get a great people, but if we are not ready, we cannot make use of that opportunities. And staying with the great people and serving them and getting spiritual benefits or any other benefits is not that easy. We need sadhana for that. We need a luck. We need the grace. Now, interestingly, one more thing is, if you see Sri Ramakrishna's that bhava I was telling, when the Kashmir shawl we had Balavat bhava. Afterwards, like Sadhaka bhava, everything was nothing, dejection and all. Now, when Mathunath Vishwas observed this, that's why I'm telling you, Sri Ramakrishna, when he went to Janpur, that is their residence in Calcutta, when he was staying with the family people, in those days there was a lot of rules and regulations. So the inner apartments where the ladies used to stay there, so no outside person was allowed, only the family people can go inside and all. There were a lot of do's and don'ts or the rules and regulations. Now Sri Ramakrishna was taken inside into the lady apartments, inner apartments. Okay, Mathunath Vishwas is a devotee. Mathunath Vishwas' wife Jagadamba is also devotee. That's all fine. Now there are other family people, our friends and family people, relatives. Quite a few ladies and all. Even they didn't feel any uneasiness or hesitation or uneasiness in the company of Sri Ramakrishna. They tell why? Because when we are in the company of Sri Ramakrishna, two types of experiences they felt. Some of them they felt Sri Ramakrishna is like a child, like 5 or 6 years of child like Sri Ramakrishna. So they didn't feel anything awkward, though he was 30 plus. They didn't feel any awkward with the company of Sri Ramakrishna because he's like 5 or 6 years. One is that. The second is they felt that in the company of Sri Ramakrishna, they forgot that he is a male and they are female. So the concept of sex, I'm a male, I'm a female, even that notion, that understanding or that feeling was removed from their minds when they were in the company of Sri Ramakrishna. So when we stay in the company of great people, what all wonderful experiences one can have, we can understand. Now you see, when Sri Ramakrishna was with these lady devotees, these people's experience is like this. When the same Sri Ramakrishna was with the Naren, his experience was completely different. When same Sri Ramakrishna, when he was with Rakal Mara, that's Swami Brahmanji, things were different. When Sri Ramakrishna was in with Mathurnath, things are different. His feelings were different, or his expressions were different. When same Sri Ramakrishna, when he was with Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, it was completely different. Bhavarupi Ramakrishna, he had a different feelings, different expressions at different times. That's the reason the present day, the statue which we see in the Belur Math, there was a statue was prepared before that, a small statue, and Swami Brahmanji was taken. I said, and they wanted him to be certified whether the statue, the form of the idol, is it right? Everything is similar to Sri Ramakrishna's face or Sri Ramakrishna's body as is seen. Swami Brahmanji was asked, Swami Brahmanji told, okay, now you tell me, Sri Ramakrishna's which form you are asking whether it goes right or wrong, or it is right or wrong. They took aback and said, what? What are you saying that? We know that Sri Ramakrishna has photographs. One is with a sitting, and is in the Ishwar Chandra, Girish Keshav Chandra Sen house. Second one, the third is in studio. These are the three portraits which we are available, and we all use for worship is Sri Ramakrishna in the a sitting position, which taken in a Dakshineshwar temple. We all know that. That's what we mean. Then Swami Ramananda said, no, Sri Ramakrishna in a different forms, when he was in a different moods, he used to appear differently. That's the reason I'm asking you, which mood, keeping in your mind, you were asking me to certify. They took aback and they said, we all don't know all these things. Now you tell whether this is okay or not. So how Sri Ramakrishna was getting intensely was in that particular mood. He was in the mood, his body, his mind, everything is to get merged in that. His body, his mind, his hair or his nerves, is every part of the body is to reflect that mood. That's the greatness which we can see in Sri Ramakrishna. Why he was able to get excel in spiritual life. First 4 years he took for the first spiritual experience of Divine Mother. Afterwards, in no time, in few days or in few weeks or in a few months, he could finish off every sadhana. Why? Because he used to get completely merged in that spiritual practice. If he takes any bhava, mood, particular bhava or particular mood, his body, his mind, everything is to get completely merged in that. And also, now interestingly, if you see, Sri Ramakrishna himself says, during my sadhaka time, not only Guru Bhava, during sadhaka time, when Sri Ramakrishna was a spiritual aspirant, which of 12 years, in those times, whoever is to come to me, to this place, addressing Sri Ramakrishna, their spiritual awakening is to get fast. Now, these are all the very interesting statements. We don't understand ourselves until otherwise they say. So, now, and now, once Sri Ramakrishna was taken to Jagadamba's house, actually, that is Mathurnath Vishwa's house, that is during Navaratri or during Dasra time. So, evening or sometime puja is supposed to start, and Sri Ramakrishna went into ecstasy, Bhava Samadhi. Bhava Samadhi with pertaining to thinking about mother. Now Jagadamba is holding him because if she leaves, she is not very sure he may fall off because there are incidents which has happened earlier. But at the same time, priest has come, there is a bell ringing, so she has to go to worship now. And she is the owner, she's the Yajamani of the household and she has to be there in the worship. But if she goes, then Sri Ramakrishna is left alone. Of course, she can call her some relative or some a worker, and she can give the responsibility, but she's not very sure that even these people, because when they hear the bell sounds or the vespers and all, they may leave Sri Ramakrishna and they may go away, can be responsible. Now she's in the fix, whether now to go to puja, to allow someone to do, to take care of Sri Ramakrishna, or she should take care of Sri Ramakrishna. She's in the fix. She's thinking, what should I do? What should I do? What should I do? At that point of time, she understood that, okay, now Sri Ramakrishna went into Samadhi, Bhava Samadhi, because of remembering mother. Now, if I start remembering, or if I start, what do you say, repeating the mother's name, his mind might come down. Immediately he dressed, she dressed Sri Ramakrishna in the mother form. She dressed him in the with a different ornaments, and she started uttering the name of Divine Mother. Oh Baba, we are going to mother worship. Won't you want to come? And she started chanting the mother Durga name, mother's name, and she started continuously chanting for some moments or minutes, and slowly his mind came down, and he and she called him. We will go to puja, and she both of them they went, and she I mean Sri Ramakrishna stood with the woman dress along with the Jagadamba. All puja over, and Sri Ramakrishna came back, and everything is over. Then, when Mathurnath Vishwas alone in the private chamber with the Jagadamba, Sri Ramakrishna, Mathurnath Vishwas asked, there was a beautiful lady who was standing next to you during puja. But I have never seen her at any time, earlier time. Who was that lady? Great lady, interesting lady. Jagadamba started laughing. Mathurnath Vishwas took aback. Said, oh my dear, why are you laughing? Did I ask anything silly, or is it joking? Why did you think like that, or why are you laughing? Jagadamba said, oh my dear, you are saying that you have not seen her anytime. First time you are seeing. Every day you stay with him. You talk so much with him or her, whatever. Matuna scratched his head and said, no, no, I don't think. Who is that? Then she laughed again and she said, oh my dear, she was none other than our Baba, that is Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna took aback and said, what? She was Baba, that is Sri Ramakrishna? She said, yes. But I couldn't make out. Like a fancy dress competition, if Sri Ramakrishna would have appeared, he would have won fancy dress competition. Because he was wearing sari, no doubt. He was wearing all the jewels like a lady, but he was fanning and he was behaving as like a lady. And Mathurnath, which was so much he has spent time with Sri Ramakrishna, he was unable to recognize Sri Ramakrishna in the woman costume. So here you can see Sri Ramakrishna, when he goes to any bhava, his whole body and mind used to occupy that particular bhava, and his whole body and mind used to exhibit that. That is quite interesting, actually. And Jagadamba and Mathurnath Vishwas, they tell that they were very happy about the Durga Puja, because we all know that in the Bengal, Durga Puja is a quite famous. It is their important festival, main festival. Every boy and girl and child and aged, everyone will be happy about the Durga Puja. And in Mathurnath Vishwas, there's a big house, it's like palace, and because of the riches and all, they are well decorated, well arranged for Durga Puja. That's all fine. And they say this particular year, our joy towards Durga Puja has been increased thousandfolds. Why? Because Sri Ramakrishna has come, and Sri Ramakrishna will be staying with us with the entire Durga Puja. Or in the Durga Puja time, Sri Ramakrishna is staying with us. So this Jagadamba and Mathurnath Vishwas, their joy has increased in 1,000 times because of the Sri Ramakrishna's presence during Durga Puja time. So, and this is one important point which we can understand. In the presence of the great people, whatever we have got our nature, it can get amplified. We have to be careful. I've got some wrong notion. That's where Sri Ramakrishna, Swami Vivekananda tells. Sri Ramakrishna also tells, and Swami Vivekananda tells, if you do a sin, if you do any wrong action in anywhere, you may incur some problem, incur some fruits of it. But if you do the mistake, if you do a sin in any pilgrimage place, then the amount of sin you are going to accrue is 10 times, 1,000 times more. There can be no solution to get away from that. So be careful, they say. So similarly, these great people are like nuclear centers. Nuclear centers, when you go with them, whatever power you have got, whatever the nature you have got, it can get amplified. So we have to be very careful. So that's the reason when we go to Belur Math, our senior monks, they advise us. See, Belur Math is a spiritual nuclear center, no doubt. But be careful. First few days it will be nice. Afterwards, if you don't utilize this atmosphere of the Belur Math when you are staying in 2 years in our training center, if you don't make use of it properly, things can go bad. Why? Because it's a new power center. Sri Ramakrishna is living, Holy Mother is living, Swami Vivekananda is living, direct disciples are living, many monks are living, President Mars, Vice President Mars living. They are doing a lot of tapas, and spiritual vibrations will be there. It's a power center. If you go and stay there and if you make use of it properly, your spiritual practices will become better. Even myself, I have experienced. Well, for example, when we were doing japa in our branch centers, and when we do japa in Belur Mutt, our experience, the spiritual experience or the intensity and etc., will be 10 times more better. And for example, one of our acharya, one of our teacher had told, you might have read the life of Sri Ramakrishna, Holy Mother, Swami Vivekananda before coming to training center. Never mind. Here also we have got discussions, but make sure that, like Sri Ramakrishna, Great Master, Life of Holy Mother by Swami Gambiranji, Life of Swami Vivekananda by Eastern Western Disciples. All these three books, minimum these three books, once more you read in Belur Mutt while staying in training center, your understanding about the Holy Trio will change much more, will be better when you might have studied, you might have read in your branch centers. Initially, we took, maybe he's making a statement. Afterwards, I thought, why can't I make once more an experiment? In the second year of my training center, I made a point that, yes, I started reading the, what do you say, Ramakrishna Divine Play or The Great Master, then Life of Holy Mother by Gambiranji and Life of Swami Vivekananda by Eastern Western Disciples. And it was true. My understanding about Sri Ramakrishna, my understanding about Holy Mother, my understanding about Swamiji, whatever with my limited understanding, it was much more intense, much more better, and much more great. Why? Because I'm living in the spiritual hub or in the nucleus center. So when we stay in the vicinity of the great people, so if we are not careful, our energy can go in vain. Our bad thoughts can get amplified. So it is all depends how we can make use of all these things. But we can see, because Madhunath Vishwas mind got prepared, Jagadamba Das's mind got prepared in the vicinity of Sri Ramakrishna, they make use of it, they made use of it, and their devotion and their things got amplified. And in Madhunath Vishwas, it so much so happened that finally he started demanding for the ecstasy. I will take in the next class that we may demand for spiritual illumination, God realization, self realization, bhava samadhi, ecstasy, and all. If our minds are not ready, what can happen? There can be a spiritual accident. That's what we can see in Madhunath Vishwas case. We can see in the Hriday's case, that I will discuss in the next class. That, but the worldly minded person, business minded person, he started demanding, he started praying, pleading for Sri Ramakrishna for Bhava Samadhi. So such a great transfer has happened in Mathurnath Vishwas. He was so calculative, he was so selfish in his mindset, now he had become unselfish. He was so calculative, he had become mystical. And he was so outward, now he started getting indrawn. So all these differences, all these great changes had happened in the mindset of Mathurnath Vishwas because of the divine touch of Sri Ramakrishna. And Sri Ramakrishna himself says very clearly, do you know why I touch a person while talking to him? My touch reduces the power of his obstinacy and he understands the truth correctly. Swami Vivekananda touched the Prime Minister of the Jaipur, and he was so, I mean, agnostic, I cannot say atheist, he was an agnist, and he never accepted idol worship, and he was a critic of idol worship. Swami Vivekananda gave a lot of, he had both of them had discussions and a lot of debates happened, but he was unable to accept. But Swami Vivekananda's mere touch transformed the mindset of the Prime Minister of the Jaipur. The same thing we can see even in the Mathurnath Vishwas. Many times when Sri Ramakrishna touched, he had changed. In Swami Vivekananda's life, we can see Brahmanji's life, we can see Adbhutanji's life, we can see so many people's life, we can see. By Sri Ramakrishna's mere divine touch, things change. And he says himself, Sri Ramakrishna, yes, when I touch, what happens? My touch reduces the power of his obstinacy and he understands the truth correctly. So whatever the obstacle is there, that obstacle will be removed and he experiences it, he understands the truth. And Mathurnath Vishwas was such a great, wonderful person, lucky person who got a touch by of Sri Ramakrishna, divine touch of Sri Ramakrishna. As a result, his life got changed. Now the question can come. Many times as a devotees, we think, oh, these are the people, great people, blessed people. They saw Sri Ramakrishna. Probably they would not have got any more birth. Whoever has seen Sri Ramakrishna, they will not have birth. and some were living near Sri Ramakrishna, they will definitely will not have any more birth. And people have served him like Mathunath Vishwas. Definitely they will not have any more birth. That will be the last birth. We are very sure about it. That's what we think, and that's our faith says. But in the Mathunath Vishwas case, was it true or was he having any more births? If you say yes, that's also quite interesting. Why it is so? That also I will try to discuss in the next class. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.